Hello there! Today, I want to talk about a pretty simple idea that can make working together on just about any project feel a whole lot calmer and, honestly, more creative. It's all about creating a shared vision, a single source of truth so that all of our individual brilliant efforts are all pointing in the same direction. Because that's how we build something truly amazing together.
So, has this ever happened to you? You've agreed to meet a friend at, say, the coffee shop, only to get there and realize, wait, there are 3 of them on the very same street. We've all been there, right? You're texting back and forth, maybe getting a little frustrated, just trying to figure out which coffee shop you were both talking about. It's such a small moment, but it's all born from a simple little bit of miscommunication.
And look, for meeting a friend, a quick text message to clear things up is totally fine. But what happens when the stakes are a little higher? What if you and a team are trying to build something new and complex, maybe an app for a class project, a big research paper, or even just a detailed group presentation? Well, that's when those simple little misunderstandings can lead to real chaos. We need something more solid. We need a shared blueprint. Okay, so what does this blueprint actually look like in the real world? In software development, this shared plan is often called a software requirements document. And just like any good plan, it really has 2 parts. It starts with the big picture idea, and then it fills in all the crucial nitty-gritty details. So every good blueprint has these 2 sides. First, you've got the big idea. In tech terms, we call this the user requirement. It's a simple, high-level statement that anyone can understand, like a system to help doctors manage patient records. Easy enough. But then you've got the nitty-gritty, which are the system requirements. These are the super specific, detailed instructions that actually make the big idea possible. And here's the key. That one simple goal, the why, gets unpacked into a whole bunch of specific technical tasks. Getting both of these parts right, that's the secret sauce for a successful project.
And I love this quote from Ian Somerville, because the key phrase here is natural language. This really highlights that the big idea part of our plan isn't just for the programmers or the engineers. Nope, it's for everyone, the client, the manager, the person who's actually going to use the thing. It's the story of why we're even building this in the first place, and it's told in a way we can all understand and get on board with.
You can almost think of it like this. It's a shared map for the entire team. It becomes that single point of reference that makes sure everyone, no matter what their job is walking in the exact same direction, toward the exact same destination. It keeps anyone from getting lost.
Okay, so we've got our shared map. That's great. But a really good map doesn't just show you where you're going. It also tells you about the journey, right? The terrain, the conditions you might face. And in the same way, our blueprint needs to describe not just what we're building, but also how well it needs to work.
First up, you have functional requirements. These are the whats. So let's go back to that blueprint analogy. If we're building a house, a functional requirement is the house must have a front door. It's non-negotiable. It's a feature the system absolutely has to have. And then you have non-functional requirements. These are the how-wells. This is like saying, okay, the front door must be fireproof, it needs to be lockable from the inside, and you should be able to open it with less than 5 pounds of force. Now notice, these aren't new features, we still just have one front door. But these are the essential qualities, the constraints, the performance goals that make the difference between a door that just fills a hole in the wall and one that's actually secure, safe, and easy for someone to use. And this right here is where the magic really happens. When we take the time to define both what a thing does and how well it should do it, we're replacing all these risky assumptions with clear, shared agreements. And that kind of clarity, well, it has this incredible effect. It brings a sense of calm and order to even the most tangled, complex projects.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like you're carving a plan into a stone tablet, right? Something that can never be changed. And that can feel, well, pretty intimidating. But the reality is, a good blueprint is meant to guide you, not to trap you.
The truth is, creating anything new is always a journey of discovery. You're going to have new ideas halfway through, you're going to uncover problems you couldn't possibly have predicted at the start, and that's not just okay, it's completely normal. A really great plan isn't brittle, it's designed to adapt right along with you. It's meant to be a living, breathing document. That's because this whole process isn't a straight line. It's more like a continuous cycle. It's a conversation that never really stops. You start by discovering what's needed. Then you define it in that shared document of yours. After that, you and your team check it together, look for any gaps or mistakes. And then, and this is probably the most important part, you manage it.
As you learn new things and as the project changes, you update the plan together and the cycle just starts all over again.
And I think this is what so many of us get wrong about planning. A good plan doesn't lock you in. It doesn't stifle your creativity. Actually, it does the exact opposite. It gives you a stable foundation, which gives you the confidence and the structure you need to adapt and change course without the whole project just falling apart.
So how can you actually use this for your next group project without writing a giant 50-page document? Well, try this simple one-page blueprint. First, define your goal. Just one clear sentence describing what success looks like. That's your user requirement. Second, list out the main tasks, maybe the 3 to 5 key features or parts of the project. Those are your system requirements. Third, agree on the quality bar. What does good actually mean for you guys? Is it about being super fast, easy to use, really polished? Those are your non-functional requirements. And finally, just schedule one check-in about halfway through to review the plan and make any needed adjustments. That's it. That's your living document in action.
Because at the end of the day, making a clear, shared plan, it isn't about bureaucracy or being rigid. It's really about empathy. It's an act of kindness to your teammates, who will feel way less stressed and more focused. And honestly, it's an act of kindness to your future self, who will be so grateful that you brought a little clarity to the chaos. Thanks so much for thinking this through with me today.